Hope Channel, changing lives.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Real Talk here at the studios of Hope TV Ghana. I know we are live on your TV screens, but we are also streaming live on our social media pages, that is Facebook, YouTube, Hope TV Ghana. So call a friend and join the conversation live. Call a friend and stream together. Let's have a streaming party going on. Before I go into anything today, obviously my name is Evie, and I'm going to host the show this evening as I do every Wednesday. But before we discuss what the story is all about, what we have on the table for Real Talk today, I want us to talk about how God has been faithful to Hope TV Ghana. Because we are 5 years old. That is half a decade. I can remember when we started. We started at this promising TV station, hoping to come your way with Christian-filled content that is going to change lives, and obviously that's our tagline. And down the line we are celebrating 5 solid years of God's mercy, and for the celebration is going to be so super filled with Jesus packed events. That is Jesus fulfilling events. Anything about Jesus we care about. And so from the 28th to the 30th of July this month, we have put together amazing content, amazing programs, events that you and I both are going to enjoy. And we are going to move away from Accra for a little bit, go all the way to Takwa, and you're going to have an exciting event. On the 28th is a hymns night at Takwa SDA Central Church at 6 p.m. On 29th July, all-white family prayer conference, and that will be Goldfields Junior Club House, also at Takwa. And then on the 30th of July, we have a Walk with Hope starting from the UM80 Basic School, also in Takwa. Now, if you're not in Takwa, and if you cannot make your way to Takwa from the 28th to 30th, don't worry. Each of these events are going to be streamed live, obviously on Hope TV, so you can be part of it. You can join the events from the comfort of your homes, either on your screens or on social media. And so that is what we have for you for July, and also for celebrating our 5 years anniversary. Other interesting events will be coming up as well. We will keep you updated. Now, coming back into the studios of Hope TV Ghana, bring you away with Real Talk. Before, again, I show you our story or even introduce our panelists to you, I want to remind you that you can also be an angel of hope by dialing *928*34*104# and follow the prompts. You can also send your donation to Hope Channel at 0249193083, and automatically you become an angel of hope. You know, today's story, I think it's a triple whammy. There are so many things in there. There is the issue of privacy in marriages with regards to phones and gadgets. There's an issue of male children becoming the topic in marriages, and whose fault it is, men thinking that it's the women that are supposed to provide them with a male child. That is in there as well. And there's adultery, you know, when either the husband cheats or the wife cheats. And the ultimate story, should one leave her marriage or his marriage after an incident of adultery? You can understand how painful that is, and I don't know people's stance on that, but personally I have a lot of opinion on that. But it is not about me. We are going to go into the story. But before we do so, let me go ahead and introduce my panelists to you. In the studio, I have with me amazing panelists that are going to help us have this conversation. And obviously, they are going to make sure that we have a holistic conversation. We are going to make sure that whatever the discussion is about, we bring you a solution at the end of the conversation. That is our main goal here at Hope TV, and especially on Real Talk. So straight ahead, I am going to introduce, there are 2 gentlemen in the studio with me, and I am going to introduce them to you. Ruben Kojo Didienyi, did I get it right?
Yes, you have.
Yes. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm very fine, thank you.
Thank God. How is the family? How has your week been?
Oh, my week has been tiresome. I mean, ups and downs. And trying to think over this story.
I know, right? With all the little issues going on
sure,
in there.
Sure,
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
So joining me next is obviously not a stranger. He's been here before. He's one of our resource counselors when it comes to Real Talk. None other person than Counselor Sydney Ni Okailami. Did I mention all the names?
Yeah, you done
I
well.
try. I did try.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
You need we need a standing ovation.
Yeah, I do, right? How has your week been?
Yeah, it goes great. I'm doing well.
Yeah, it's been busy, eh?
Really.
Yeah.
Really busy.
Yeah,
Because we had
yeah.
visitors from the division, that's the West Central Africa division of the Seventh-day Adventist Church
Oh, wow.
on campus, and they are running workshop
Yeah.
since last week, Wednesday. So
Satina was
that's
telling
Thursday.
me about it.
So campus are being very busy.
Busy.
After the graduation. it's
Now
still-
this, you know,
Yeah, so
that's a lot of work. I mean,
Really.
after the Zambian president's coming in, it's back to back to back.
sure.
We thank God for strength to
Yeah.
go through it. Thank you so much for joining us.
No mention that.
I hear my studio guest is in. If you can hear me, that would be Mrs. Loretta Owusu-Boatima. Loretta, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi Evie. I
Hi.
can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you too. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking. How has your week been?
It's been busy, but we thank God.
Yeah.
We can't complain.
We can't complain indeed. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So today's topic we have titled, My Husband Has Impregnated Another Girl. Should I leave or stay? This is a question that I don't know how we are going to do it today, but we are going to do it. We are going to hopefully give them,
We'll try our best.
yeah, we'll try our best.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go straight ahead and read our story to us, then we can go into the discussion. It says, Dear Real Talk, I read on social media that men will leave you in the desert without water. This saying is becoming a reality in my marriage. My husband and I have been married for years now, and we are blessed with 2 daughters. I have never for one day gone through his phone. Aside being a very busy person who doesn't have time for that, I trusted my man. However, recently I went through his phone, call it a woman's intuition, or because of the strange attitude he puts on at home. My husband just woke up one morning and said he wants to go and adopt a baby boy because after our girls, I haven't gotten pregnant again. Mind you, the doctor did not say I cannot give birth again. It's just delayed. Going through his phone, I found out my husband is seeing someone, a younger girl, who sent him indecent pictures and videos of herself on his demands. I screenshot all the evidences and videos and confronted him with them. He blatantly denied and turned the table around, saying I violated his privacy. What got me worried was that I found out my husband has gotten the girl pregnant. I suspect this is the baby he would have presented as the adopted child after the girl delivers. I am dying inside because he doesn't even stay at home anymore. I called the girl and warned her to stay away from my husband, but she later blocked my number. My husband has changed his password and now carries his phone even to the toilet so that I cannot have access. Now that I know the girl is pregnant, what do I do? Should I leave or stay? That's rather unfortunate. The saying about men will leave you in the deserts without water. There's one bit that I saw, it said, a man will stain your white shirt. That's all that is. Now we moved away from, oh, men are dogs, or all men are scum. Now it's a man who will stain your white shirt. But starting with you, Counselor, what's going through your mind with this story? What's going on?
A lot. Actually, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Because when you meet situations like this, it's disheartening because it's a mixed feeling of everything. Because one of the last time I was here, I was telling you about, not the first time, telling you about things that break the home, that breaks the marriage.
Yes.
And one of these is this one that we just find ourselves. So you could see a difficult situation for a woman. And most of the time, you see, we don't hear the man's story or the woman's story when the one who brings the story. But you could read in between the lines and you could see there are some defects within it. Because you could see this is a busy home that they have quality time is lacking.
Right.
So that is bringing these things. So you could see that attention had been gained outside the marriage. That had been gained outside the marriage. That has caused this to happen. You see, you could see that in her story, she could say that I am busy. You could see this is the career woman.
Yeah.
But you know that in keeping and gluing the home is the woman that does it. So the moment a loophole comes, the man finds his way to gain that. So there's a whole lot going on. But these are the things that I'm reading through the lines. That this is a home that hardly has quality time.
Right.
And this is a home that seems not to dialogue on issues. It seems. So I stand to be corrected.
Right.
So it seems that way. And this is a home that's, be careful what you read and you set your mind to, because her first statement is like something that's a dream board that she visualized and now is actualizing in her life.
Right.
So it's you need to be careful what you put into your mind, because some of us that we talk about certain things, if you have not practiced, you will live to practice that, and you can share it by practicing it. So that's the difficulty. So you could see something that she read on social media. She believed it, imbibed it, and it's becoming a reality. So be careful. That is where you are seeing these things. So there are a lot, and there is much that we can say about this, but you could see the loophole in this relationship. So my mind is going round. So I'm just praying that you let us stick to the questions so that at least we can go.
because it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And before I come to Ruben, I would ask you, phone in marriages, in relationships. This is not the first time a story has come on Real Talk about my husband doesn't want me to touch his phone and my wife is hiding her phone and they've changed password. What is your opinion on that? When you're counseling people and it comes to phones and privacy, do you believe that everyone's phone is their individual properties and so they have the power to hold it close to them and not share the password with anyone? Or you think immediately you're married, as the Bible says, you become one, so everything is shared and becomes one, where you share your password with your wife, vice versa, you are able to take your wife's phone and she's able to take yours? Do you think that is the way we should go about it? Or you believe that everybody should stick to their phone and then we should all mind our business?
See, there's a reality we have to face, and is that this phone is a parasite. When it comes to parasite for relationship, now phone is one factor. It used to be television. You know, it used to be men loving soccer and women loving soap opera and all those. There are parasites that are feeding on, because you know parasites don't have roots. They feed on the existing organism. And now one of the parasites is this phone. That takes the attention of us. This eye-to-eye contact that we have now, we are losing it. So now it's like we do this through you. They will be in the house. So it's a parasite. And please, counseling is not about the counselor or the counselor's opinion. It's about the counselees. You see, when we're talking about counseling, they think that we don't advise. You counsel, meaning you show what the parasite is. Then you tell them what is able to do when they give way. Then they have to make the decision that this parasite will go with it or we can manage it.
Right.
You see, so when you come to the counseling room, we will not advise you not to hold your phone or not to change passwords, but per your understanding how you can manage this. That is what you have to decide. But we'll let you know that this can destroy the home. So when you have it, the phone is amoral. In the ethical world, the phone does not decide whether evil or good. It's amoral. You decide what you use it for. So we don't tell you what to do with it. However, please, there is confidentiality everywhere. Because between every relationship, there are information you cannot disclose to your partner. Maybe they cannot handle that truth. You see, so you look at the person's competencies, then you share that information with the person. It's like breaking a bad news to a friend who has lost a loved one. You can't just come and break it bang.
Right.
You need to manage the person, prepare the person's mind. So there are some information you cannot handle. Then when we are married, that's why I said the reality. The fact that I'm married to you, it's not that everything that I do, you need to know what is in my head. Hello, excuse me. The brain is covered with tissues, covered with a skull, and after the skull, it's covered with hair. So God is telling you that there are certain things you need to confine them. I don't believe in secrecy. I believe in confinement. Because if it's up to your level, you are disclosed to know it. Because maybe you cannot handle it.
Right.
Possibly you can handle it. So we can get married, but you know that these days, this phone is a whole world in your palm. So there are certain things you need not to be showing, just that it's just a butterfly in the stomach that we say, let's share our information, we are free to each other. No. If you ask me, it's your privacy. At least we need to, though we are married, we need to respect each other's privacy. You cannot say, I'm married, so I have to brush your teeth for you. It's privacy. You see, we need to keep certain levels of limitations, though we are married. So we cannot do that. So it's important that we respect each other's privacy in a marriage.
Right.
You cannot trample upon the person's because someone's freedom is here. You understand? Others is there. So you need to give everybody their freedom to do their things. Even in family budgeting, there's a room that you give your spouse, each other, something just to spend without accounting for. So that's respect of privacy. It's something that we need to really practice, not just talk about it.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Absolutely, I agree. I don't know about Ruben. Do you agree? First of all, I'll take your general take on the story, and then I'll ask you about privacy in marriage. I mean, asking you and what you practice in your home. And then I want us to talk about the issue of men always thinking having the gender of a child is based on the woman. Because I've heard it several times. Hey, you've given me 2 girls. I want a boy. I'll go outside and go and get a boy. It's rampant. We hear it all the time. I mean, at one of the stories here, we had a conversation and somebody asked, didn't we all do biology in school and we decided the X and Y chromosome and who it belongs to? Why are we having this conversation as if we didn't go to school, you know? Yeah. And so, yeah, what is your opinion on that? Because it's obviously in the story.
Sorry. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I think that in the story I can see some level of confusion, and this story is quite complex. And it gets more complex when the woman gets to know that the husband has impregnated the woman he has been chatting with.
Yeah,
it gets out of hand. So you see that the woman is very sad, and on top of that, the man doesn't want to accept what has happened. This is a very serious issue. But looking through the story, you could say for sure that there has been lapses, like Counselor is saying. There are so many lapses that you can look at. If you are a busy woman, you can for sure say that the man will be looking for some level of attention from outside. And like one of my elders has been saying, he says that hormones are not Christians. Hormones are not Christians, so you obviously have your hormones working. Even if you are a pastor, you will surely have your hormones desiring for that nice part of the flesh. Good. So I can see that there are lapses in the marriage from both the man's side and then the woman's side. So this, they both need serious counseling. I mean, you look at the ramifications of all the actions they have taken, and then they can sit back and talk about the reality of the issue. One other thing I see is that there hasn't been enough conversation. Look, when you read the story very well, you understand that it says that they have, obviously they have dated and courted for some time, and then married and had 2 girls, which tells you that this has not happened over the period, which means things have been fine. So there has been some sort of lapse that has caused this to happen. So I think that both of them might have not looked at what they obviously have to do to support the marriage very well. And I'm sure that it is in every marriage. Now, coming to the issue of phones, privacy is a very delicate issue in marriage.
Right.
And I really accept that. However, we must also respect the fact that when you become married, the level of privacy is reduced.
Oh yeah.
Yes, to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Because if your wife, you have a call and you are in the washroom, and your wife is capable of picking the call, I mean, it is not bad. You understand? However, where the woman wants to go extra, or the man wants to go extra to look for what is not looking for her, you get it? That is where the issue comes up. But in this story, for instance, they said the woman had to do that because of the red flags she saw. Yeah. So some of the things, and I mean, sometimes I also think that if you don't want your wife to see, sometimes it's difficult to explain to your wife that this you shouldn't see. They don't understand because they think you're a part of them. So they want to know everything.
What shouldn't I say?
Exactly. What shouldn't I say? So sometimes you don't just have to let her know it. It shouldn't even be in existence between you and her. So that if it is something very confidential and you think she will not be happy with the response, like the counselor said, I think that you shouldn't even let it exist in the house. So as she will ask questions in relation to that. Let me move on to the next. The next one, the gender issue. I mean, this is a scientific misconception. When I saw it, I was. It's quite interesting. I mean, it is in this part of the world that most of us think like that. When you go to the Western world, I was speaking to someone in UK. We're like, what? What do you mean by that? I mean, how do you say it is a man? In the first place, it is God that determines the gender.
Yeah.
Right.
That is one. And we must accept it. Now, further, I mean, there's X and Y chromosomes which we may have learned. And you know, one thing that is happening in this part of the world is even when we are educated, we still have that level of cultural influence on us. So when a woman is, when a couple is not able to bring forth a male child, they are like, my friend, go and marry another woman. I don't know if it is the fault of the man. Or if they are not having babies, they want to say that it is the woman. So it is just culture and it's a misconception. And I think that some level of education should go out. We must educate people on those issues. It is not the woman's fault. Barely you may understand that it is the man who is not bringing out the Y chromosomes, which should match the woman's X chromosomes. Yes. And recently I was watching a video on Facebook, and then I understand that there are foods that you can eat to influence your X and Y chromosomes.
It's very interesting.
That's what they say. Right.
Yeah.
So,
it's very interesting. I mean, Lawrence, I'm coming to you, but before I come to you, and with regards to the gender of a child and who decides, obviously it's God, our creator. But when it comes to the man and the woman, the only person that has the Y chromosome is the man. A woman has X. The man actually has X and Y. So if the man gives you X, you have a baby girl. If he gives you a Y, you have a baby boy. Now, the only other sure way you can get a baby boy, if you don't want to go the natural and miss and you want to be sure, is when you go with the artificial insemination where they pick the embryo, whatever, and make sure that it is a boy, and then they fertilize you and you have a boy. But aside that, it's like a toss, and what's it called? A dice. You toss it, probability, and then you get it. So I don't think we should get another story of my wife is always giving birth to girls. You will follow the issue of I know somebody who followed I want a boy. She has 6 girls. And somebody who once said I want a girl. He has like 5 boys. So that's just by the way. But Loretta, I'm going to come to you. Obviously, your take on the story. I don't know if you have any more comments to add to what has been discussed so far. But for you personally, my question would have to be the wife calling the other woman. You know, we hear this all the time, where women pick the phone and they call their husband's mistress or the side chick and say, stay away from my husband. If I see you near my husband, I'll pour acid on you. All the dramatic things that we do. Do you think she should have? Or you think she should have just dealt with her husband, who, between the two of them, made a decision to go and find another woman and even go to the extent of getting her pregnant?
Thank you so much, Evie.
Yeah.
Greetings to all the viewers and listeners on this program. For the lady calling the being the side chick or the mistress, I will personally say that that was a very immature move she took. Why I'm saying it's immature is you are the wife now. You are let's say, the boss of the house now. You don't have to argue with anybody about that position. No, you are the wife. You are the main, the main madam in the house now. So taking a phone or taking the number of the, is it the concubines from your husband's phone to call her was, to me, was a wrong move. This is a matter that you have to deal with your husband.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, he went out there to, in his mind, he thought he's having only girls, so he feels he has to go out there, get someone pregnant, in order to have a boy. Okay, so I think you set your husband down, if possible, in my view. Invading on the man's privacy was one thing she shouldn't have done, but he did it. Okay, getting access to his phone, one, you had access to pictures, videos, which was so indecent. So in my view, if I'm supposed, being a woman, if I'm supposed to put myself in her shoes right now, I would say, once you have access to the phone, okay, you have so much to say or so much evidence you were holding on to right now. Why don't you keep quiet? Get all the stuff you need on the phone, if possible on the phone. And moreover, fortunately or unfortunately, the man was showing so much attitude for the lady to go ahead to take the phone. So in my view, I would say she should have kept quiet, look for every information she thinks she can have on, she thinks she can get on the phone, and confront the man personally, one-on-one, as two matured adults. Because at the end of the day, as we all know, it's not the lady's responsibility to bring in to determine the gender of a baby. So she should have kept it low, confronted the man, and deal with the issue. I think that was the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
Not calling the other lady.
Yeah, but from the story, she took the screenshot and then she confronted her husband and said, this is what I've seen on your phone and this is what you're doing. And he denied it.
Yeah.
But I don't even know how he denied it. We are both what, is somebody blind or is somebody stupid? Like, I don't understand. We are both seeing this is what is happening. And he went ahead and denied it. So I don't know if that was a frustration that made her call the side chick and said, Madam, you better stay away from my husband. And like you said, I completely agree, because I think one of the things that made me upset was the fact that the girl rather blocked him. The audacity. I think that's what is hurting me most. You know, because it's almost as if you stooped low and the outsider is showing you attitude. That shouldn't even be the case. But counselor, this issue, side chick issues are not easy in marriages. You hear it all the time. Husband is entertaining someone and he is hiding it, and then they find out. And this one obviously went ahead and called her and said, Madam, please stay away from our marriage. Do you think that should have been?
You think my bosses had to make sure I hold my license for now? But let me say this.
Okay.
We are fighting a blood that is polygamous. Majority of us are coming from polygamous home. And it's in the blood. This is a reality.
Right.
You know, we need to wake up as Ghanaians and stop behaving like we are white. We are Ghanaians. And we are coming from a traditional home where grandfathers married 3, 4, fathers married 2, 3, and now you are telling the children to marry 1. The reality is hitting us, and we have to wake up. You know, I know of a grandmother who married a story. This is a true story.
Okay.
Wives for the husband. About 3 of them.
Okay.
To add up to her. Yeah, this is a reality. She will see you said, oh, you are beautiful. I think my husband will love you. Can you marry my husband for me?
Wow.
This is about 50 years ago. And that family is still standing. Traditional customary marriage, the law states that the men can marry more than one wife.
Yeah.
And there's a certificate for that.
Yeah.
The civil one is not church marriage.
Ordinance.
Please, it's ordinance. It's by law.
Yeah.
It's the white colonial masters that brought it here.
Sure.
That was for them. You see, that was for them because they are traveled here and they need to stay monogamous so that they don't marry here and become problem for them at home. So it was for them. They couldn't abolish our own. Then the Mohammedans, up to 4. In a customary marriage, the woman has no right to marry more than one man. That is our customary law. You see, and there is a reality we live with. And we've been running away from it. Now it's catching up with us. Honestly. So this is a real thing that now we are joking with it. We are saying like the what your celebrities are doing. It is a reality. The blood in you is polygamous as a man. So how do you fight this blood?
That's the question.
So the issue is then the women have to also wake up. That our husbands now, like our grandmothers were doing. That's why I'm saying my bosses have to hold my license for now. That our grandmothers do. Okay, now they find women for us. Then when the man, you see, when the man sees that you are not jealous about the other woman he's talking with or having a conversation with, you make him become very careful. But when you show jealous, you give him the power to show off. You see? So it is catching up with us, this story you are talking about. So I don't know how some of them will deal with it, and some men will deal with it. So this is a reality we are staying here with.
Right.
And this lady, you could see that there is a problem. I'm telling you, the problem are in two folds. Either the man has a problem of not satisfied with one woman, and he has practiced it all his life. Or he's lacking something from the wife. That is why he's looking upward, out of the marriage. And you could see that the man, if they are giving birth to 2 girls, it might be the man is in his midlife crisis. And this is part of it. That you get used to this woman, and when that crisis comes, if you are being denied of certain things, you want to look outside. And you are in limbo. So this is a reality that has hit them. So I'm seeing it from 2 points of view that has caused the man to go outside. So my sister, if you have done this, or you know that the man is like this before you got married, he's a playboy.
Yeah.
He's not, you know, when he's with you, hugging you, looking at other girls and doing this, you could have seen because woman intuition.
Absolutely.
Maybe you have seen this. If you have not seen that, then there is something you have done in the house that is making this man go out. So if you want to keep this man, then you need to come.
For counseling?
Yeah.
They would have to.
You need
At
to
this
come.
moment, they would have to.
If you want to keep him, because there should be a dialogue for understanding.
Right.
Because I want to say this, Evie, the vows we say during our marriage ceremony, do you know the only thing that breaks the marriage?
Death do us part.
It's only death. It's only death. It didn't mention adultery.
Yeah.
Jesus even didn't mention adultery. He said, even if your wife or your husband commit adultery and you love your wife like Hosea, go and buy her from the slave market, wash her and clean her and make her your wife, as God did. So that aspect of our vows, we need to really look at it again. Because the only thing that can make you go out until the man is dead. And if the man is not dead or the woman is not dead, breaking this home will be difficult. Then if you are telling God that there is a sin he cannot forgive. Let me be a little preacher over here. So this battle we are fighting as Ghanaian men, everybody needs to wake up that we can help each other with it. I don't know the laws that will be, but this type of fixing men in one corner with this monogamous issue and the blood is polygamous, you need to pray for us more.
Yeah, absolutely. But I want to go for a break, but Counselor, we do have the customary marriage. If you want to marry more than one, why don't you go for that? Why would you go under ordinance and then want to be polygamous?
Will you agree?
Me, honestly, this conversation, I had it before marriage with my husband. And because we had a lot of conversations. And my point is, I personally wouldn't. So if I'm not the woman for you, you have to go.
That's it.
And find somebody that you can marry 4 or 5 that you agree.
That's it.
Don't come and take me that you want me and still want for you. That one there is like
so,
when you're sleeping out.
So there's an agreement over here.
Yeah.
There's an agreement over here.
Yeah,
so if you have gone to the monogamous, please fight that blood and stay monogamous.
Exactly.
And
but it's difficult.
It's both sides.
Yeah.
Is it both sides? It's not only the men.
There are women that are doing things in town that see pastor.
So when you're talking about this gender of a child and all those things, please, now women, honestly, I'm telling you, I wish this is another thing I was saying, but you know, taking care of women or girls is one of the fastest investments you can do in a human being. Quickly, they grow quickly. Before you realize they are adults, before you realize they are caring for everything.
True.
But men will be throwing the stones to the lizards. Still, we are 12. We still play balls. You see, I grew up for a heavy boys' home, and being involved in my wife's side is heavy women, ladies' home. So I'm seeing the vast difference. You see, I'm seeing a vast difference. So it's important that we see that now that we are where we are now, it is not about the gender, it's about the intellect.
Absolutely.
So we need to desist from that I want a boy.
Absolutely.
And that stereotype, we need to win ourselves from it.
Exactly.
Because that stereotype is hurting, you see, that is causing this home, one factor. It's causing a lot of damage in relationship.
Absolutely.
Excuse me to say, if you say women are of this level and men are of this level, then why do you marry them?
You should go and marry. That's another conversation. For another day. But absolutely, I agree. I think that we should stop this I want a boy, I want a girl. First of all, the Bible says children are a gift. How is somebody gifting you something and you're there pointing what you want? It's just you being ungrateful. We'll be back after the break. Do not go anywhere. This is Real Talk.
Brahma and Kwati, Hope Channel Ghana, Miatia Sam Do, with our suppose made that also every son. I think the Lunia Dunimian Sam, and Yasam Kituo, or say ye American Tuo, ye free Uma basis cola, ye Nemu Kakra from Fadam Foy, Nemian Fremio, ye Quabrica, and ye Mika, Kakranwa, ye didn't know. Obia Benyana Chefa, when he said Apomodin, Yap, Papa. Ye Pana Yako Community Center, a whole and the aerobics are not yet Papa so. And yes, some Kituo, the Patron Pabawati, the Brahma Apomodin, and one fast will be brave. Hope Channel in Finum, Tapa for Yanimuana, Esh Yabumo, and yes, some Kituo, Hope Channel Ghana, yes, it's a bravo. Hope Channel, ye ma and so.
The King of Kings, He is the Lord of Lords, He is the Alpha and He is the Omega. He is God all by Himself. There is no other God that can be compared to our God. He is such an amazing God, and we love Him because He has first loved us.
Oh yes, come and meet Jesus at the Goldfields Junior Staff Clubhouse, Akon Takwa, on Saturday, 29 July 2023 at exactly 9 a.m. as Hope Channel Ghana and the West Central Ghana Conference invite you to the all-white family prayer conference.
I will be there
together with your favorite pastors. So come prepared to be inspired and experience Jesus to equip you to lead your family in prayer with wisdom and purpose.
I said, Womua and Ama Hope Channel, Actua Swagi Jumedie Sonko, Abesi Sa and Pempensui,
enti wo ba fa bibi hye wabosuo mu anase fa bibi hye wo botomu a o de ba beboa Hope Channel eye dwumadie ahodo a yedie no kai se dwumadie e ba so eye memeneda 29th of July 2023. Hope Channel Ghana, 5 years of changing and impacting lives.
Welcome back from that quick break. We are still in the studios of Hope TV Ghana discussing this very sensitive topic or story that is on our table today. This is Real Talk, and before we went on the break, we are looking at the story where a man has gone to impregnate another woman, and the wife wants to know if she should stay or leave. And we've been discussing, there are so many issues in here: phone privacy, gender of a child, who has the capability of giving a boy when it comes to childbirth, whether it's a man or the woman. In this case, the man is blaming the woman. And we are also looking at adultery in general, and it has brought up a lot of interesting conversation. If you just joined us, you have missed a bit, but you're going to still enjoy the rest of the program. And obviously you can see me in this beautiful blue t-shirts because Hope TV is 5 years old, and we are very excited. And so from 28th to 30th July, we are bringing you great, amazing content all the way in Takwa. So the Takwa people are excited, and if you can join us there, please do so. If you can't, it will be streamed live right here at Hope TV. So now going back into the conversation, Ruben, I'll come to you. There's evidence that he's committed adultery. He refuses to accept, probably apologize or show remorse, and so it's leaving her in a space of, you have done me wrong. You are refusing to even apologize. I have gone to call your side chick. The disrespectful girl has blocked me. And the only reason why she can do that is because you have given her power to do so. Now, I want to leave. I don't know if I should leave or I should stay. But from what the man is showing, if I stay, it's my choice. If I leave, you could care less because you're not showing any remorse. What is your take on that? How would you advise the woman? What would be your opinion on that? Should she stay? Should she leave? What is your take on the man not showing any remorse at all?
Well, you see, I appreciate the situation that is a very delicate one. And you see, for someone to actually accept their faults, especially a man, then they must know what they have done. I mean, I want to let us understand that men are usually the head of the home. And you know, to pin the head of the home that you have done this, immediately they may not accept their faults. But if you let them understand at a greater length, there is a way, there are so many ways of getting a man to subdue to a woman. I mean, there are so many ways. There is a comedy where they say Eve was naked, and then it was not difficult for her to convince Adam to get the apple. So there are so many ways of getting the man to actually, you get it now, yes. So there are so many ways. Probably because the woman thinks the man is at fault, hey, you are at fault, and therefore you must accept this issue. Whether you like it or not, you have done wrong. So
but he has, hasn't he?
He has. But there are so many, you see, for the light of the marriage, if you really have to think beyond just leaving the marriage, then there are so many ways you have to do. There are so many things you have to do, and ways of doing them in order to get the marriage to still continue or to leave the marriage. So I'm thinking that maybe the woman didn't really present her case well, and that is what has caused the man to refuse to accept it. I do also agree with you that the man might have told the side chick to
not necessarily tell,
yes.
but I mean, if you're a woman, if another woman comes into your home, the only way she'll have authority is because your husband has given her that authority.
I don't think so.
But he brought her into the home.
Exactly.
Without him, she wouldn't.
The authority may not be expressed, but implied because he
went for her. Yeah.
Exactly. So for dealing with the other woman is wrong. I mean, like the counselor said, and like yes, so it's actually wrong. So for me, I think that if the woman wants to continue the relationship, yes, they must sit. They must actually sit and talk about issues. And this is one thing that is worrying us in today's marriage. When issues come, because we want to please the other party, we don't sit and talk about the issues very well. We have to digest. But Ruben,
is there a reasonable grounds for her to say, I am walking away with my 2 girls?
I don't think it is. It has enough reason for her to say, you know, weighing, just impregnating another woman and you're leaving your 2 children. In fact, I was reading a recent research, and it says that broken homes, when children either go to stay with their fathers or their mothers, they align with them. And if you're a girl and you are living with your woman, the mother, you think that women are the best. And they grow up to marry women.
What?
Oh, yes, in America. So you understand, and then the man also grows to marry a man. And you know the issues related to broken homes.
Yeah.
I mean, what they bring up. So if you are weighing all these things and then you want to leave the marriage for the side chick to come and take over all the suffering and all the investments and all the things that you might have left, I mean, I don't think that.
Right.
You can choose to stay and still get your husband to adopt the other child, and then you bring the child to the house so that you will still be the mother of
family.
Yes.
Loretta,
a big family.
Yeah, Loretta, you are the only female here with me aside myself, and obviously
we are not.
No.
And
obviously, I am. My opinions are very limited because as a host, I don't have to impose my opinion. But you being my guest, I'm asking you. Okay, put yourself in the lady's shoes. As a woman, you find out that your husband is entertaining another lady. You see the indecent picture she's sending. You go forward and realize that not only is he talking to her or entertaining, he's actually impregnated her. Now she's pregnant. Okay, you picked the phone, you called her, she was rude, she blocked you. You got your evidence together, you showed your husband your evidence, this and this and this is what I have seen you doing, and you've impregnated a woman. And your husband just looks at it, denies it, and the denying part I don't even understand, but he goes ahead to deny it and then shows no remorse, acts as if he's done nothing wrong. Now he's the offended party, changes his phone, his password, carries his phone to the toilet wherever he's going. I am sure he will probably have a phone call and he's bathing, rash naked with a soap all over him, come and pick his phone. That's just by the way. As a woman, now you are wondering if you should stay or you should leave. Loretta, honestly, in your opinion, what do you think about this scenario? And what do you think she has solid grounds to stand on and say that I am walking away with my 2 girls? I can't hear you. Are you muted?
Evie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you so much. So being a woman and putting myself in her shoes, I would say this is, as Ruben already said, this is a good reason for her to leave.
Okay.
But if she thinks, if I'm putting myself in her shoes, I would say if she feels she wants to stay, she can stay.
Okay.
But with a lot of measures has to be put in place.
Yeah, that's my next question actually.
Ruben said if she has to stay, the man can go ahead and adopt the boy and bring the boy to the home. I disagree with Ruben. Why I disagree with him is the man sees the 2 girls as I don't know if I should say, doesn't see them as
they're not enough.
They're not enough. He wants a boy.
They're not. Thank you, Evie. They're not enough for him. That is the reason why he went ahead to impregnate another lady, and in addition, lie to it that he is going out there to adopt a child, which he really knows that that child is his son. So I would say if this lady decides to stay, then as I said earlier on, they are 2 grown adults. They should sit down, talk things over, because immediately the lady accepts the other baby as a boy to come into the home, the happiness of herself, the mother, and her 2 daughters are at stake. Because this man will bring in his lovely baby boy into the home, and automatically he becomes the king of the home. So, if you want your marriage, it's good, you want your marriage, but you sit with him. If he decides not to listen, because after all, he's not showing any remorse, he doesn't show any regrets that he has done something wrong. At times, you can find somebody in his family, in your family. We being Christians, you can talk to pastors, counselors, to sit him down, talk to him, for him to realize what he has done. Because after all, there's a saying that whatever a man can do, a woman can also do the same thing, if possible, better. So, if she wants her marriage, if I were in her shoes, and if I want my marriage, I will sit my husband down. My dear, this is it. So, the other baby has already been born. There's nothing we can do about it. It's a baby, it's a human being. We can't push him away. He's still the blood, he's still a blood of your husband. So, the other side can stay elsewhere with his son. The man should go ahead and take responsibilities of that baby, and then myself and my 2 daughters can be happy in our home.
Okay, I understand. It looks like you have a battle, but our time is fast spent, so I'll give you like a minute.
Okay, so let's consider. So you see the ending part of what Auntie just said. The young boy and the mom stay somewhere, and we have actually come to a conclusion that that is the lovely son and then her mother. So you see where your heart is, where your treasure is, that's where your heart is. So it's obvious that if this is where his lovely son is, that's where his heart will be.
So he will go.
He will obviously go. So I am thinking that if the woman actually adopts the boy,
but who says the biological mother will allow?
Oh,
because she has.
I mean, to a level.
Ruby, you see.
Yeah, Pastor. As you respond to him, I want you to take your view on the evidence, and he not be remorseful, and if the lady should stay or should.
You see, you have the evidence. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
This attitude, I want to prove to you that you are wrong. You should stop it. Evidence show that you are wrong.
He knows he's wrong.
So why do I have to prove it again?
Yeah. You already
so
know.
Let's stop that. Rather, that boy, please, don't bring her to that home. Because that boy will grow up broken. When you go and adopt, that boy will grow up.
The wife is not happy.
Broken. And the question is that but do you mean to say that woman is a surrogate?
No.
She's
a biological mother.
You can't take the child out of the way.
No.
The law will not even allow you to do that. So, I agree that let the boy stay with the mother. If she decides to leave, you have to be ready to go through the process of breaking the marriage. But you have not broken the relationship between the man and the boy and the other woman. You have not broken the relationship.
Other woman.
Then you too, because you have decided to leave, you have broken the marriage, but you have not broken the relationship between you and your 2 girls and that father.
No. Yeah.
You see how it is?
Yeah.
If you choose to stay also, then you have to go through the reconciliatory process of mending this in the home. That is where you need your marriage counselor here. That is where she has not mentioned. The cry is to us.
Yeah.
But we have to refer her to her counselor. Taking somebody from my mother's side or my father's side, yes, there will be partiality too much.
Of course.
But a counselor should be a neutral person who can bring them together, because he has seen certain red flags.
Yeah.
So he's in a position to mend this relationship. More than one person from both families to work on this. So my suggestion is, if she chooses to stay, please go for the counseling process of reconciliation.
Right.
Because you have gone through the first one. You talk to him, he didn't listen. Talk to the counselor about it.
Yeah.
And show the evidence so that he brings him on board. There, if he too, you still not listen and you want to break it, then you want to save your home, but he doesn't want it to be saved. So that is what I would suggest. If she chooses to stay, please be ready to go through the process. I'm using the word process.
Because
You can't, you have to tolerate.
Yeah.
You have to have the heart to be with this man, to make sure that you don't leave him. You don't leave him if you are staying with him. Then you're also ready to make sure you do your honest part in this marriage.
Right.
That's why I'll recommend this movie to you, Fireproof. Just watch it.
Oh, I've seen that.
You've seen that movie.
Yeah.
So if you want to stay in it, there's something you need to be doing consistently.
Yep.
You don't stop doing what your role is if you want to keep the marriage. You can't say because you are like that, I want to go out. And if you choose to go out, then be ready. Then you go into the courts. If it's a civil marriage, for dissolution. And that one, the courts will be looking for reconciliatory gist, to be making sure that there's a room for you to reconcile. The court does not break your marriage. They rather certify your decision by breaking the marriage. They have exhausted all the reconciliation options, the alternative dispute resolution, the family, the counselor, they have exhausted all. Then they see that, oh, okay, it cannot be. And that one will take you not less than 2 years.
Absolutely.
So are you ready for both sides? So any decision you take, we cannot tell you to decide, but these are the rudiments in your decision as you
Let me
walk
read
out.
comments and then we can go. This one is from Nana Abrochre Jasehene Techi Abiam. Why leaving? Did Sarah leave when Abraham impregnated Hagar? Which quotation in the Bible that forbid polygyny? Adventists, we are so religious fanatics. Too much. Let any pastor tell me or quote from the Bible where God said marrying 2 wives is sinful. Never come and tell me it was Old Testament, since Abraham, Gideon, Barak, etc. were mentioned as fathers of the faith in Hebrew. If their issues are Old Testament, why mention it in New Testament? Yakrama says, hi, I am Olivia watching from Meduma. Such an educative program, really learning a lot. Thank you. Daniel Labi wants to know, I want to ask if marrying 2 is good or not. Councillor, this one is for you. Caleb says, you can't leave, stay put. Henrietta Danko says, it's up to you, my sister, to either stay or leave, because these consequences are here. You stay to tolerate nonsense, hatred, pain, rejection, because your husband doesn't need you in the house again. No serious husband will want a different sex when he already has 2 kids. Leave the house to shed tears for some years and then move on with your life. But that's when you have a secure job to cater for your kids and yourself. Can't think far. Men of these days, God be with us all. Something for Arthur says they need to have a real talk and then decide whether to adopt the baby, forgive each other, divorce, or whatever. Only you can decide. For the love of Christ, constrained as. Okay.
This is a pathfinder.
Yeah. Now, this one is from Helena Ansa, who says, please, I think the best thing to do now is to report him to his parents or the person who canceled the 2 of you. I think the husband has no respect for you. How can you boldly cheat, get the woman pregnant, and have the audacity to bring the child to you as an adopted child when the baby is born? He's not being fair to you, especially he denying the act. My dear, be wise. This man has bad intention. Emmanuel Jaka wants to know, dear Real Talk, please, I have a story I want to share with you for discussion. How do I go about it? Emmanuel, you can send your message to us to our direct Facebook messenger. So just send us a message on Facebook with your story. Or we'll take note of your comment and then our social media people will get in touch with you. Someone asked, marrying 2 or 1 is good?
That was the question. That was something that I just spoke about.
Yeah.
In the civil one that the church has adopted,
right,
is monogamous. In the customary one, that is in the customary, is 2 or more. So whilst you are part of a church denomination, they accept the monogamy. You know, that's why they give us the license.
Right.
The registrar of marriage gives us the license to be gazetted. You gazette you, the minister, and gazette your place. So that one is solely monogamous.
Right.
Though there's a certificate for customary marriage, we don't accept that one. in there.
And even the ordinance, immediately you do the ordinance, almost as if it cancels it out.
It nullifies it.
Yeah, the traditional.
It nullifies it. So you can pair where your belief is, denomination you belong to, that's subscribed to that.
Yeah.
You know, there's a movement now that is subscribing to the customary one. And I don't want to mention that one here. But once we are Hope Channel, is a 7-day Adventist denominational television station. We subscribe to the monogamous, of which we take the roots from Genesis.
Right.
So that one we stay to that.
A man and a woman.
A man and a woman.
A man and a woman, with emphasis on a man and a woman.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for coming. Because you say two people, then that is a whole conversation together. Thank you so much for coming, Counselor. I think this is one of the conversations that we can go in and in and in if we want to. But hopefully, we've all learned something. I am sure we've all learned something. For the woman especially, it's difficult, it's painful. But then I'm praying that you have some solution and tips if you want to stay. If you want to live with marriage under ordinance, one of your reasons for leaving adultery is actually a solid point you can leave. Adultery, irreconcilable differences, you know, separation for 2 years, maintenance, he doesn't take care of you. There are so many reasons why you can leave. So if it is on ordinance, you have grounds to leave. But then again, with all the points raised and how to go about it and the difficulties, it's choosing pros and cons. And to the man, when you heard someone apologize, learn to apologize. Learn to apologize. It won't kill you. They won't write it on your forehead that this man just apologized to his wife. It won't do anything to you. Rather, your wife will notice that you care enough to, you know, apologize. And I am praying that you guys are able to find your way back together. And I'm hoping that the baby mama does not become another constant trouble, because that's a whole thing altogether, you know. Tomorrow this, today this, using the baby as an excuse. Even if the man decides, you know what, I'm sorry, I have stopped, I'm going to stick to you. Baby mamas can act out. Calling at midnight to say your son has a headache, just, you know, all these things. But we are hoping that your story will be different. We are praying that it goes well, and hopefully everything will be well. Thank you so much for watching. Loretta, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your opinion. We'll be back same time next week with another interesting topic. Remember, we are 5 years old, and we are going all the way to Takwa for a 3-day Jesus-filled pack event. And then please look out for all of us, the crew. We will be there. We will all be there. I shall be there. Makosia will be there. Everybody will be there. And thank you so much for watching. We'll be back same time next week. Satina, thank you so much. You are such an amazing person, and thank you for helping with the production of Real Talk. So please enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy the rest of the program on Hope TV. Have a lovely evening.